Great. This is the April 3rd meeting of the Norwalk Fair Rent Commission. The meeting has been called to order at 7:37 p.m. For the record, we have in attendance Chair John Church, Vice Chair Fran Collier Clemens, Commissioners Dora Witherspoon, Samuel Pride, and Peter Halliday calling in by phone. And we have members of the Fair Rent staff, Carlos Duque, Russell Liskoff, and Anna Vivian Estrada. And we will turn to our first item of business. I will present the agenda, and we'll turn to our first order of business, which is approval of the minutes of the March 6th meeting, which I will scroll to now. And we'll look and see, are there any edits or changes to page 1 of the minutes? Any changes suggested for page 2 of the minutes? Any changes on page 3 of the minutes? Any changes on page 4? Any on page 5? All right, any on page 6? All right, then I'll take a motion.
I approve the minutes.
Fran Collier Clemens seconds.
It's a motion from Samuel Pride and a second from Fran Collier Clemens. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes. We'll go on to the next item on the agenda, which is the chair's report. So thank you all for joining this afternoon. I hope that you all did not have to go out at all today, as it has been a crazy weather day here. I didn't realize that April was hurricane season. Not anything really significant to report this month. So I will pass it on to Carlos for the coordinator's report. Go ahead, take it away, Carlos.
Good evening, everyone. Just want to report that from the beginning of the year, I'm able to assist 110 families with fair rent inquiries. Obviously explaining the process of people who are currently getting evicted or are in the process in the early stages of getting evicted, assisting families with applying to eviction relief fund from UnitedCT. Also, still assisting many families with questions about their Section 8 documentation and processes. I've been in constant communication with some of the caseworkers from the Housing Authority and the operations director with regards to some miscommunication that has been happening between some of these residents and the caseworkers. It's unfortunate that they can't really get straight answers from them. I'm able to do a little bit digging, a lot of investigative work, and I'm able to close the gap and provide the information that they're looking for. Additionally, I've assisted a few families about security deposits. They have been successful in getting the security deposits back. And in one instance, a member, she had to file a small claims suit, and she was successful getting it approved by the court. Not sure she hasn't gotten paid yet, but she was very satisfied with the service I provided to her. Also, I have a call scheduled towards the end of April about the the COVID-19 Housing Relief Fund, just to provide any more updates. Last time I checked, about $90,000 have been released in funding to assist some of those families. We thought it was gonna go a lot faster, but it hasn't. There have been some minor hiccups, especially with families who have documented kids, but the parents aren't documented. So we're still trying to navigate those issues. I'm still waiting for further guidance from Lamont with regards with parents providing ITINs instead of social security numbers. That's all I have for today. Thank you.
Thank you, Carlos. We appreciate the work that you're doing to assist the residents of Norwalk. We will move on to the discussion of open cases, and I'll scroll down and turn it over to Attorney Liskov.
Good morning, good evening, everybody. Russell Liskov reporting on the current pending cases. It's been a very busy month. It's hard to get a hold of people, though. So let me start with number one. First one is 8 Union Avenue, apartment 3. The landlord wants to increase the rent from $959 to $1,500 a month for 1-bedroom apartment. I have not been able to successfully broker a deal between the two parties. Carlos has sent out a notice for a hearing to be had. Well, he will send out a hearing notice to be had in June. The claimant, the tenant, their attorney was not able to make the May 8th meeting, so they asked for it to go over to June. I think that's fair. He has to come in from Manhattan, New York, to represent his cousin who has special needs. So that'll take a while. So for tonight, I actually take no action on it, and we'll set it up for a hearing on June 8th. I'll continue to try and broker a deal, but so far I'm not getting any cooperation on either side.
I move no action on 1831-23.
Samuel, second.
I have a motion from Frank Collier Clemens, a second from Samuel Pride. Any discussion on this case? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes unanimously.
Yes, the next one is 1839-23, 6 Elm Street, first floor. The landlord wants to increase the rent from $1,000 to $1,900 per month. We've spoken extensively with both parties. The landlord does not want to make any deal, so we have teed this up for a hearing for May 8th. So tonight, I'd ask you to take no action on it, and we should have a full hearing on it on May 8th.
Sam, no action at this time.
Second.
That's a second from Dora Witherspoon, and sorry, all in favor? No, excuse me, we need to have a discussion first. Any discussion on this? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? Great, we'll go on to the next case.
The next matter that came in was 1840-24, 23.5 Boston Street, apartment number 1. The landlord wants to increase the rent from $1,350 to $1,600 a month. We're just waiting for the lease to be signed on that matter. It hasn't come in. The lease, they had to add a paragraph between the lease. Next month, I think you get a withdrawal. So this month, I recommend that you take no action, and pretty sure next month this case is going away.
Sam, no action at this time.
Second.
I have a motion from Samuel Pride, a second from Dora Witherspoon. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? No action passes unanimously.
All right, the next case is 1841-24, 39 Osborne Avenue. The landlord wants to increase the rent from $2,350 a month to $3,950 a month. The two
Huh?
Wow.
the two parties came to an agreement with a new lease, and there is a completed withdrawal signed in the file. We recommend that you close the case.
Sam,
I
I
move to
recommend
cl-
close the case.
Fran Collier Clemens, seconds.
Any discussion?
Fran, you're kind of slow tonight.
I know you're kind of fast tonight, Sam.
All right. All in favor?
Aye, aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, so motion passes unanimously and this case is closed.
The next matter, these all came in last month. The first one is 1843-24, 213 Ely Avenue, unit number 1. The landlord wants to increase the rent from $1,100 a month to $2,500 a month. The tenant has moved out, and we are just waiting for her to send us her withdrawal of the complaint. So tonight I ask you to take no action.
Fran Collier Clemens moves to take no action on 1843-24.
Sam, second.
All right, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes unanimously.
The next matter is 1844-24, 213 Ely Ave, unit number 2. The landlord wanted to increase rent from $1,450 a month to $3,700 a month. The tenant has moved out. The keys are returned to the landlord. The tenant is waiting for the security deposit to be sent back to them, and we're waiting for a withdrawal. So I'd ask you to take no action this month, and I'm pretty sure we'll get a withdrawal for the next meeting next month.
Fran
Sam,
Collier
no
Clemens
action.
moves 1844-24, no action.
I'm gonna give that one to Fran.
Second.
I'll give Dora the second.
Okay, Sam.
All right,
It don't matter to me.
any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes unanimously.
The next matter is 1845-24, 213 Ely Avenue, unit number 6. The landlord wanted to increase the rent from $1,300 a month to $1,800 a month. They have negotiated a new lease between each other. We're just waiting for the two parties to get it signed and get us a withdrawal. So this month I'd ask you to take no action, please.
Fran Collier Clemens moves no action on 1845-24.
Sam, second.
I got Peter with the second that time. Good job, Peter.
Great, Peter.
Any discussion? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes unanimously.
The next matter is 1846-24, 213 Ely Avenue, unit 13. The landlord wanted to increase the rent from $1,350 a month to $3,700 a month for a 3-bedroom apartment. They've reached a new lease agreement. We're just waiting for them both to sign it and get it to us with the withdrawal. So for 1846-24, I'd ask you to take no action this month.
I move no action on 1846-24, unit number 3 and not 13. I know that was a slip of the tongue. Sam, we hear
Sam,
you.
second.
Sam's got a second. All right. Motion made by Fran Collier Clemens, second from Samuel Pride. Any discussion? All right, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Any abstention? Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right. On to 1847.
I'm sorry. The next matter is 1847-24, 213 Ely Avenue, Unit 4. The landlord wants to increase the rent from $2,400 a month to $3,700 a month. The tenant has moved out. We're waiting to hear from them to come in and sign the withdrawal form. So I'd ask you to take no action this month. Hopefully next month we'll have it. They'll cooperate with us and get us their withdrawal of action form.
I move no action on 1847-24. Fran,
Second.
That's a motion from Fran, the second from Dora. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, motion passes.
The next matter is 1848-24, 44 Plymouth Avenue, Unit 1. The landlord wants to raise the rent from $1,700 a month to $2,220. The landlord doesn't want to talk about it. They want a hearing. So we have asked that we have that hearing also on May 8th. So you'll get, looks like you'll be scheduled for 2 hearings on May 8th. And
No,
one.
no, there's no way.
Oh, we
Time
can't
out.
do that.
Time out. Yeah, there is no way we could get 2 hearings done in one day.
No,
Hearings take like 4 hours.
Okay, then.
It'll need to be scheduled for July because we've got another one scheduled in June.
Yeah, it just came in at the very end of February. It's very early in the game.
I'm just, we have had hearings that have lasted until 4 a.m. If they want to start their hearing at 4 a.m, they are welcome to do so. But
July is fine. July is fine with me. Carlos, please take a note that they can have a hearing in July.
yeah,
Will do.
All right. So after you take no action tonight, please.
I move no action on 1848-24.
Sam second.
any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes.
The next case is 1849-2412 Narragansett Avenue, Unit B. The landlord wants to increase the rent from $3,200 a month to $3,800 a month. We just started messing with this file and talking to the tenant and the landlord. Negotiations are ongoing. This came at the very end of February. We couldn't get a hold of anybody until mid-March. So I'd ask that you take no action tonight.
I move no action on 1849-24. Fran,
Sam second.
All right. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Thank you, and we're on to the last one here.
Last case, we have 1827-24R. This is a complaint that came in at the end of March 1st, actually. And we sent out hearing notices to the tenant, and spoke to the tenant, Carlos and I spoke to extensive emails. The tenant, after he filed his retaliation complaint, actually before he even filed his retaliation complaint, he moved out of the unit. Under Connecticut General Statute 7-148 B sub D, there's really nothing this board can do for this tenant at this time because the case is now moot. What would happen is if there was a hearing, you would find retaliation, you issue a cease and desist order against the landlord for retaliating. And then if the landlord continued to retaliate, you'd have another hearing, and then you'd be able to fine the landlord between $25 and $100 that will go to the city of Norwalk. Well, since the tenant moved out, there's no relief that can be granted to this tenant. So by his moving out, he rendered the case moot. Had extensive talk about it with Carlos and Anna, my predecessor here, with about 3 other people who do fair rent. So the case is moot. So I would ask that you vote to close the case because there's no relief that this board can grant this tenant.
I move to close the case on 1827-24R.
Sam second.
And that's a motion by Frank Collier Clemens, second by Samuel Pride. Any discussion of this?
I don't know at what point we apprise the complainant of their rights to file a retaliation complaint if they feel retaliation has taken place after they file the complaint. So I don't know whether this is the same person that spoke before us or
It was
not.
the same person who spoke before us.
Okay. You know, I don't think there was a clear understanding between the staff and the tenant as to his rights to file a retaliation complaint. I think we can do a better job of that in the future. But as Russell has stated, we don't have any standing in this case now that he moved out.
We did speak at length with the tenant, and we advised him what he could do. He just was thinking about what to do.
Mm-hmm.
But then he didn't tell us that he moved out before he even filed his complaint. And but relations got a little tense with the applicant because we resolved his original case and he was very happy with it. But then once he started to talk to us, we started telling him what he could do and what the remedies would be. He kind of stopped talking to us and started going all to emails on it. He started to try and avoid us because we couldn't give him an answer that would really make him happy. The board had limited jurisdiction as to what they could do.
Right.
It's unfortunate, but that's kind of the way it went. We were always there. We were always there for him if he wanted to speak or advise him on what his rights were. But
Right.
I have to ask the right questions to get the right advice at the same time.
Right. And sometimes ownership is not taken of adequate choices made. And unfortunately that can affect the outcome of what you want. But I think we just need to make sure that they know that they do have that right if they feel they're being retaliated against and that they need to talk to us. Communication is really critical in these cases.
So I
They
just want
do
to
have
add
the
that
right until they move. I think is the more clear.
I just want to add that he came in here on January 10th and he spoke about the actions that the landlord was doing and he deemed those actions retaliatory. So I asked him, like, if you feel that they're retaliating against you, yes, you're more than welcome to file a complaint. He says, I already contacted the Department of Health. They're coming out to do an inspection. We'll see, maybe that way I'll get it fixed. Eventually, he did email the city of Norwalk, the city clerk, and then the email made its way over to my desk. And then I'm not a lawyer, so I can't advise anyone on what they should be doing. However, the question was not asked, should I file a complaint or can I file a retaliation complaint? Or he never asked me, if he would have asked me if I move, can I still file a retaliatory complaint? Those questions, that was never brought up to me. If you would have asked me that, I would have told you, if you move, then you can't file a retaliation complaint. However,
maybe that's something that we should just do routinely, just in case a person doesn't think to ask that question. And that's one of the options that takes place in retaliation. And the fact that he went to the health department first, if he had filed a retaliation complaint, that would have been taken care of through the retaliation complaint, and it would already be in process rather than his going on his own to the health department, because they work with us. Well, they have in the past. I don't know what they do now.
But then again, as a coordinator, what is my boundary? Where am I at telling them you should be doing this or?
No,
should I
no, no,
just
you
let
don't
it-
tell them, you don't tell them that they should be doing, but if you feel that there is a you're being retaliated against,
You're on mute now, Fran.
Yeah, I just want to add, he knew all about it. He wanted it. He handled it. He went a different route rather than going to retaliation complaint. He understood about being able to file a retaliation complaint.
I think I understand, and I don't think that anyone's criticizing the actions of Carlos or you, Russell, in terms of the guidance that was given to the tenant in this case. My question would be, and I think that it is standard on our complaint forms, but maybe not on the retaliation complaint form, is, are you still a tenant? Probably should be a standard question, because if that moots the whole thing, then for the retaliation complaint form, then that would then you wouldn't have even brought it to us to hear the case, because you'd have already known it would be an issue at that point in time. So I would suggest, if that's not on the form, or if you're saying he had filed the complaint after he moved, probably that's something that we could have caught at the time that he filed the complaint.
And the only way that I found out was because I actually called to follow up with him. He
Right.
never approached me. Hey, by the way, I moved out. No, he never
No,
approached me, he never called me. I
So-
followed up, which
so is there a way that we can amend that form, that retaliation form, to include, are you
Yes.
still living at the address?
yes,
Yeah,
I could definitely add that to the form. Yes.
okay,
I think
great.
that's
Definitely add it. Uh-huh.
we do have a pending motion. Is there any further discussion on this case? All right. Hearing none, all in favor?
I'm so sorry I'm late. I forgot all about it. Looked at
Hey,
the clock. I am so sorry.
For the record, Brenda Penn Williams has joined, Commissioner Penn Williams has joined at 8:04 p.m. All right.
I vote yay.
Aye.
All in favor, aye. 1, 2,
Aye.
Dora is aye. 3, and I think Mr. Pride stepped away. Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, I'm gonna give Mr. Pride an abstention for this one.
Everybody.
All right, we'll move on to new cases, and if I'm looking at the docket accurately, it looks like we had no new cases for the month of March, or to now the month of April. So you got them all in February, Carlos.
Correct. Yes.
All right. So then I believe that the next item on the agenda, let me just scroll back up and make sure, is old business. Nothing for old business. So the next item on the agenda is new business, the Fair Rent Commission brunch, and we are right on time to talk about that, Brenda, I believe, unless Carlos, you had something to speak to first.
No, I don't have anything. I just need to, if Brenda has anything that she wants to discuss, or we could just
No,
discuss.
no, Carlos, I'm waiting for you to let me know how many people. Did you send out the letter? The invitation?
No, not yet.
Okay, so it's supposed to be in June, right?
Yes.
So we need for you to send out the invitations to like all the former commissioners, Adam, Anna, who else, Fran?
Well, he probably won't come, but Enrique Santiago, was that guy that ran for the
Manny?
city council? Well, a lot of them ran for city
Got a
council.
couple of them.
Yeah.
Are you thinking of
And
Manny Langella?
Enrico ran.
Are we selecting a date and just whoever can make it makes it, or are we providing options?
No, we're gonna do it. We said we're gonna do it again on a Sunday because people like pinstripe. So we were gonna do the brunch again.
Which Sunday though, in June?
Oh, well, we could come up with the Sunday now. Let me look at my calendar. Hold.
I think last meeting you said June 9th, Brenda. Is that still available?
That'll be perfect, Brendan, because Adam's birthday is the 7th, right?
Yeah,
Oh, okay, so we could do June 9th, okay.
And my birthday is the 7th.
All
Oh,
right.
My husband's birthday is the
okay.
9th.
We can
Okay,
celebrate your birthday and Adam's birthday.
and
For
my
this
husband's
year, I
birthday is
will,
June the 9th.
for
Oh my
this year,
God,
I'm gonna
yes.
request payments in advance.
Yeah,
Okay, so we're gonna do June 9th. Is everybody in agreement with that?
That's
Yes.
great.
yep.
for me.
I
So
agree.
Carlos, do you want me to come to the office or so we can put something together? Well, tell me what you want me to do.
You wanna done the same way it was done last year? Do you want a private room or you want just a private space?
I like the private space. I think
Yeah,
it's better.
Private space.
But
yeah.
okay.
It's just gonna be pricier. We go with a private room. Plus, the
Uh-huh.
They
private
charge-
room at Pinstripes is kind of hidden behind where we were sitting at last time.
Yeah,
We
I
were
saw that
out-
room. I don't like that room.
Yeah,
You
we were
don't? Oh, Fran,
outside, but we had
Fran, we
a
use
private
that room all
stereo.
the time. It's so much better.
You mean the room?
No,
Yes, it's
The-
just a little private room that
Yeah, I
sits 20 people. So
Yeah,
we
I
get
saw that
20
little
people.
room.
Oh, okay. If we have 20 people, that'd be perfect. I am so mad at myself. Carlos called me today. I was waiting for this meeting.
Well,
I'm so
listen,
sorry,
how much more does a private room cost than the private space? Because we had some issues last year, some financial issues, because people that
the
say that they were
private
going to
room
show
is
up
like
didn't show up.
$1,000.
I'll reach out to them and I'll have them send me an estimate.
it was quite a bit more last year. I know that. Yeah.
Well, we should get an estimate before we decide, I think.
We have to make sure that we have the number of people
Sufficient
showing
people
up.
to make it worthwhile. Yep. Understood. right. Anything else left to discuss there? We have a date and we know what the next steps are. All right, then I will take a motion.
I move to adjourn.
Motion from
Second.
Fran Keller Clemens, second from Dora Witherspoon. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed?
Enjoy
I
the
oppose. I
Fire.
oppose.
why?
Brendan opposes.
Why?
All right.
Because I came late and I didn't get to enjoy
On
y'all's.
the record. We missed you too, Brendan, but we're glad to see you. And good to see you too,
Enjoy-
Nina. So, all right,
Yeah.
thanks
Enjoy
everybody. Have a great
Have a
day.
good one.
Enjoy
Good
the
night,
eclipse.
everyone.
Good night.
Enjoy the
Okay.
eclipse.
We will, Peter, you too.
Okay, have a good one.